Okay, so we now know the exact date of joint practice with the Patriots. However, Fangio spent a little time in OTA with the defense and is changing Josh Sweat's position? That's not all. Could the Eagles still be in the market for a wide receiver? They're linked to one. Plus, what did Djax and Shady say about Jalen Hurts? The clip on Twitter is only half of it, but still, you gotta hear it. But first, why is this lady upset with the Kelceys?
Middle of the street you are. You'll never be allowed in this house. No. You'll never be allowed in this house again. Don't be out on your breath. You're embarrassing yourself.
Over a photo? Kelsey ain't want no smoke, but Kylie did.
Middle of the street you are. You'll never be allowed in this house. No. You'll never be allowed in this house again. Don't be out on your breath. You're embarrassing yourself.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today, as always, we got a lot to get into. But before we do that, Eagle Nation, can I ask y'all for a quick favor? Help your boy out and hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So yesterday marked 100 days into the NFL season is upon us, but today, May 29th, marks 100 days until Eagles football is back. It won't be in America, it will be in Brazil. Friday night, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts. This is going to be such a good game, but I got the Eagles coming out with a dub to start the season 1-0. That being said, we know we have a joint practice with the New England Patriots in Foxborough. However, the schedule for that has been released. Jake Rabati of the NFL tweets, the Eagles and Patriots have officially scheduled a joint practice ahead of their preseason matchup on August 15th, per the Philly Inquirer. You don't gotta worry. There's not gonna be any cheating. Bill Belichick is gone. They got Gerard Mayo, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Moving on to the wide receiver 3 battle, a new name has been linked to the Eagles. Word on the Birds tweeted, the Eagles were named the best fit for free agent wide receiver Hunter Renfrow by the 33rd Team FB. Now, I know some people are concerned how he ended last year, but Hunter Renfrow in the slot is a dangerous weapon, especially when he's not the main guy. On this offense, he'd be playmaker number 5. Now, by no means necessary am I saying this is a must sign, because we heard the reports via OTAs open to the public that Jalen Hurts was targeting Paris Campbell a lot, and not only targeting him, but he was making plays. You gotta also remember Anais Smith is in the mix, who's not practicing at voluntaries because of his injury, but he's almost back to full health. And just by listening to his character and chopping it up with him a little because he followed me on Twitter, plus just watching his tape, how he was utilized in college, he's a true weapon. Just get the ball in his hands. I like what we got at wide receiver 3 and Paris Campbell on a cheap deal, Anais Smith on a 5th-round rookie deal. So not only do I think one of these two guys can give us a lot of production from the wide receiver 3 spot, but it's also cheaper than what probably Renfrow would sign for. And I know, people in the chat are going to remind me, we also signed John Ross and got Johnny Wilson, but I think Johnny Wilson is going to be developed as an outside receiver in case an injury happens to Smitty or AJ. Knock on fake wood. Matter of fact, let's knock on real wood. I just don't believe when push comes to shove that John Ross will make the roster. I think he'll be cut. So right now, I think it's the ultimate competition between Paris Campbell, who's healthy now, and Anais Smith, who will be healthy soon. He'll be making plays in training camp, joint practice, and the preseason. Stay tuned. Again, just to reiterate, I'm not saying I wouldn't want Hunter Renfrow, because the more competition, the better. If one of these guys could beat him out, then it's just proven that our wide receiver 3 spot is legit. However, with it being June, how much could Hunter Renfrow ask for? Plus, you got to remember, Howie Roseman got around 23 to 25 million in cap space, although he does want to go into the season with some, in case an injury happens, a trade deadline acquisition. He ain't going in with all that money, so there's no doubt in my mind that Howie Roseman won't sign a guy or two or even trade for somebody prior to training camp or during training camp, because he's not done building this team. Speaking of building a good team, Isaiah Rodgers posted this picture of Nnamdi Asomugha, Nate Allen, and DRC to his IG story. And of course, an Eagle fan seen it, screenshotted it, and took it to Twitter saying, what is he trying to tell us? People in the comment section sharing it, saying maybe he's trying to say we got another dream team, or maybe he thinks these guys are good. So I took it upon myself to let people know, if you don't know, that Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is Isaiah Rodgers' cousin. And he recently posted on his IG a Kelly Green 34 jersey saying, I'm a fan of him. What can I say? So hopefully we don't see people running with the dream team story as the reason. Moving on to this interesting note by Zach Berman on Josh Sweat's number switch explained the nuances. He talked about it on his Philly Eagles show, but per NFL rules, defensive linemen are only permitted to wear numbers 50 through 79 and 90 through 99. Linebackers can wear 0 to 59 and 90 to 99. If Sweat is officially designated as a linebacker, he can wear number 19, which we all heard he's changing to. Looks like Vic Fangio is letting people know the Eagles are going to be in 3-4 a lot, and we're going to have a lot of five-man fronts with linebackers / edge rushers hanging off the edges, some with their hand in the ground, some standing up as jokers. Now, he will drop them back occasionally. In this defense, we will have 3D tackles on the field a lot. Jordan Davis in the middle, Milton Williams on one side, and Jalen Carter on the other side with a mixed match of edges. This is why it's important to have guys who are versatile and enough edge rushers you could keep the rotation fresh. This is also why Fangio loved a guy like Jalen Hunt, who did play that linebacker / edge rusher in a similar system and used a similar way. He's probably going to use some of these guys. We going to see how it works. Von Miller thrived in this system with Fangio. I'm just ready for the defense to get back to close to 70 sacks. I also want to talk about this crazy stat for Saquon Barkley. Shout out to Victor Williams, who tweeted this morning, since entering the NFL, Saquon Barkley has had one offensive teammate who ever made the Pro Bowl, a cooked Darren Waller. Let that sink in to how many offensive Pro Bowlers he's coming to play with and how much attention wants to be put on Saquon, but got to be put on other Pro Bowl and All-Pro players on this Eagles offense. This just sounds so crazy saying out loud, but I love it. Also, shout out to A.J. Brown for being one of the best wide receivers and one-hand catchers in the game, but tweeting this. Eazy-E, talking about Evan Ingram, stirred me in the right direction when it came to catching the football with one hand. Now, people in the comment section are like, how you learn from him when you're better? Who knows what Evan Ingram told him or when he told him that A.J. Brown utilized it to get better at it, even though Ingram ain't a better pass catcher than A.J. Brown. Remember, they both went to Mississippi. Evan Ingram was drafted in 2017. AJ was drafted in 2019, so they might have been on the same team actually, but of course they know each other from going to the same college. I just like how humbled AJ Brown is, especially because the narrative is he's a diva. While we're speaking of the Eagles wide receiver, let's talk about both of them. Pro Football Network tweeted Ocho Cinco picks A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith as the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. He said it to Shannon Sharp on the Nightcap show. His exact words were, A.J. and Smitty gonna give you what you want every time. Hey, I can't be mad. I agree. They gonna give you what you want every single time. Lastly, I do want to go over what Djax and Shady said on the last 2510 show as it pertains to Jalen Hurts. Mind you, this is a whole hour-long show, and they only spent 30 seconds starting off talking about the schedule release, but then they brought up Jalen Hurts. Listen.
So, you know what? I will say this, though. I'm happy about the first game in Brazil with the Packers. I like some of the game because Jordan Love is nice.
Jordan Love is nice.
And I'm waiting to see what Jalen Hurts. What's up with him?
This year is a big year for Jalen Hurts.
I'm going to keep it so honest on this show today. Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal player.
He let us down. He let us down last year.
I got to see it, though.
Yeah, he let us down.
You know what?
He got paid on right. He took the foot off the gas.
Man, I don't know the foot was. I don't know where the foot was at. I know where his game was at, and it wasn't good.
They started out by saying Jalen Hurts is a great player, but to say that he took his foot off the gas pedal because he got paid and or that Jalen Hurts let us down, I can't agree with that. But they talk a little bit more, and I'm going to give you more of my opinion.
I do think this. I think that we kind of pushed the pressure on him because he got the money. Yeah. Let's just play Eagle football. We're going to run this ball.
Yep.
We got 2 outstanding wide receivers on the outside.
For sure.
Defense should be better this year. And now we got Saquon freaking Barkley in the back.
Yeah, we like
so
that.
Jalen Hurts is good, but let him.
Let the people around you help you out.
Yeah, because that's what it was his biggest year.
And that's what we talked about, too. I feel like they kind of got away from that. Like his first 2-3 years, or no, his first 2 years, obviously, coming in.
He's young.
He was young. You know, you expect that, but the past year, I mean, obviously on making it to the Super Bowl, losing in the Super Bowl, you got to steer. For me, I think this year is going to be a great year for them.
You could talk about quarterbacks win, he gets credit. Quarterback lose, he gets the D credit, I guess. And at the end of the day, what's in our minds is the Tampa Bay game where, again, Jalen did look a little bit bad. But so was the coaching, so was the run game, so was the O-line. And don't get me started on the defense all year long. No matter how much we feel the offense stank due to play calling, it ranked 8th compared to the defense that ranked 26th. And Jalen Hurts did have 30-plus touchdowns total, I think 38. At the end of the day, criticizing Jalen Hurts by saying too many turnovers, that's cool. Not as good as 2022, that's cool. But you got to factor in the context. Now, they weren't doing a whole show on Jalen Hurts. They just kept it moving. So I think what they ultimately wanted to say is we can't put it all on Jalen Hurts. Again, the show wasn't designated to just talk about the Eagles' offense because they got to know the play calling was bad. That's why we got a new OC. The defense was bad. That's why we got a new DC and drafted all defensive players. Again, it was poorly worded by saying Jalen Hurts let us down like he's the only one. And the fact that Djax said he took his foot off the gas pedal, that's not who Hurts is. He's his biggest critic. So criticizing his game with context is okay, but they took it a little far. But how this next person feels about Jalen Hurts is exactly how I feel. And it's a beat writer, Ruben Frank. He said in the article, it's hilarious to me that Jalen Hurts can go 29-3 over a 32-game stretch from December 2021 to November of 2023 while throwing 46 touchdowns and 17 interceptions and rushing for another 32 touchdowns with a nearly flawless Super Bowl run in the middle of that. And then thanks to an ugly finish under a lame duck offensive coordinator on a lost team playing a stale offense, in the head coach's own words, all of a sudden people are questioning him. And even down the stretch last year, Hurts only had 2 legit bad games, the Seattle loss and the Giants loss. He's about the last guy on this roster I worry about. That statement right there is exactly how I feel about Jalen Hurts going into 2024. I still want to see what Kellen Moore can do, what Fangio can do, how the defense answers some of them questions. But I'm not worrying about Mr. Hurts, Jalen Hurts, the franchise. With all that being said, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Do you agree with Shady? Do you disagree with Shady? Do you understand what he's saying? Blah, blah, blah. Drop the muscle emoji. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos. We out.